it's been a day or two since we did a garden video. There's been a lot going on around here. Just been busy trying to stay ahead of the rain, keeping the garden relatively normal. Working on other stuff around the farm. But it's a pretty day. It's hot. We're supposed to start getting into the 90s now. I think our rain has finally stopped, and this is probably the part of summer where we start getting hot. We were blessed with the cool rain, and the garden is doing so good. Wait till you see it. But I think I'm going to start over here this time and show you just what's happened since all this rain has hit. I mean, it's just gone crazy. These are our jalapenos, and you can see in here, I mean, we're covered up with jalapenos. See them in there? And every one of these, this is, you know, I think I can, let's see if I can do this. You know, here's me right here, and here's the top of the jalapeno plant. You know, I mean, it's freaking huge. And now that the weather's going to change, now that the weather's changing, we'll probably end up with the heat coming in now, and the heat will make these jalapenos really go crazy. Here, the kitty's got to come help me when I'm out here. See her over there? She's a helper after she gets them claws ironed out. Our onions, some of them are starting to lay down now, so we'll be picking them, but you know, there's quite a few of them in here that are about baseball size. I mean, it's not a great harvest. I probably should have planted them in the fall instead of the spring, but these are the ones we grew from seed in the house and then transplanted out here. So, you know, with I'll probably let them dry for, you know, I mean, I'll let them grow here for probably another couple weeks, but you can see, you know, a good indication that you're ready to pick is when that thing just goes ahead and gives up the ghost right there, and it did. So that one's probably ready to come out of the ground. With the lack of rain that we're supposed to have over the course of the next week, I think we're okay. You know, I can leave them in the ground for a little while. Now, on to the bigger part. Holy mackerel. This is our squash row. I don't even have the words. We're getting hit. This is the cucumbers right here. And I just noticed we got one right there. So cool, we're starting to get cucumbers in. These over here are blue Hubbard squash. And as you can see, we've got a bunch of blossoms on there. Look how big these leaves get. I mean, those things are big as wheels. They're climbing up the back side of the fence here. Let me get you over there. See what I mean? I mean, right here. Whoop. Got a little crazy on it there. Right here. I mean, that's 8 or 9 feet from where they were planted. We've got bees in the flowers right now. And let me just show you, if I can. Here's one of the blue Hubbards right now. You know, the camera isn't doing it justice. That thing's probably 1.5 feet long, about 10 inches deep. That's just one. We have, if I can come through here without upsetting all the bees. Have another one over here. Here's one right here. He's kind of little. Another one back there. And there's some of them sitting up in the bed as well. I'll come back over this way. There's a bunch of little ones. Here's one right here. And I know there were some up in the beds. The bees are having their way with this joint this morning. So we're just gonna let them have their way. These are the melons that we planted. Well, Kitty, you scared the hell out of me. I'm not seeing a whole lot of fruit on there yet. These are the butternut squash that we planted over here. You can see we've got them coming in pretty decent here. Here's some more down here. What? What's up with you two bozos? I did clean a bunch of the grass out of the beets. Got them looking a little better. And of course our rosemary back there. Here's our zucchini patch. And we can pull down inside here. You know, and this one doesn't have a whole lot of set on it yet. This one here has quite a bit. They're little, but I can see 1, 2, at least 2, 3 on there, on that one. Probably has some pickers over on this one. There's a pretty good one right there. Boy, the bees are sure having a big time right now. There's a bunch right here. See them there? And over here is our butternut squash. Our first planting of butternut squash. And we have butternut squash everywhere in here. You can see them back in there. Another one here. Some on the inside. We even have a pretty good size one over here. Here's some more. There's a pretty good one right there. Here's another good one right here. So the butternut's doing real well. Our okra over there is finally kicking in with the water that we've had in the rain. I keep saying that. We've had over 44 inches of rain so far this year, which is a lot. The okra is finally, it's starting to set some okra. We still have blooms down there, and the bell peppers, this one may be one of the few that does not have fruit on it yet. But there's one there. Something got to that one, which I'm okay because I planted a bunch. There's some okra on the vine right there. Starting to come in. Some more peppers down here. This one doesn't have fruit yet, but it's got blossoms. This one over here, it's got peppers on it. The okra is, you know, just coming up to almost chest high right here. We tied some of these up. There's some more, you know, there's a pretty good sized one right here. I thought I had a purple one on the vine in here somewhere. See if I can find. Kitty likes to help. Ah, here he is. Right here. There's one right there, a little purple pepper. This one's got, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 of them on it. And the beans, I'm going to walk down this way, have the sun at my back a little bit. The beans have just went berserk. We've already picked and canned, I don't know, somewhere along the order of, let's see, I think we have 13 quarts, 1 pint, and we've had it for supper a couple of days this week. But you can. I've been trying to be real careful with the picking of them. I'm coming out here with snippers and cutting them off, is to not hurt the plants, so we can keep going and try to get as many harvests of beans off of here as we can. But you can see that, I mean, they're pretty much covered up. I could pick again today. In fact, I probably will tomorrow. Today is it's supposed to be a warm day. So see, here's some more here. Down. They are just, look at this one here. I mean, those are ready. Right there. I'm having a little trouble with the new camera system. But yeah, there's all kinds of beans in here. I probably should pick them today, because I see enough up here. What happened was the bush beans is what I've been picking, and the pole beans that I have growing up the trellis, look at all the blossoms that are still there. I mean, we're gonna have beans for 2 or 3 more weeks, maybe. Yeah, this probably needs picking today, which is good. We can those beans and keep them, all winter long, and we eat them a lot. Boy, there's a bunch of them on here. Oh, God, there's Mr. Bumblebee. I don't know if you can see him there. So yeah, there's just a bunch. All right, I'll go down this way again. We'll look at the tomatoes. Remember, I put triple 13 on everything, and I did it right before the rain. I probably couldn't have picked a better time to do it, but I did get a lot of green on the tomatoes and not a whole lot of fruit yet. So I'm wondering about that. But I do have some, there's some right there. Some that are starting to set. I've got some down in there. Let's see, right over there off my finger. So they're coming on, but I mean, look how tall they are. These panels are, that's where I can reach. So they're really going. And then we're starting to set some over here, little tiny ones. That's good to see. Right in here. Got some more down here. Don't have any great big ones yet. This is one of our German Johnsons, and we have a few on here. There's a couple right there. I need to trim them back too and get the ground stuff off of them. These are Cherokee purples. Have some set here. There's one right off my finger right here. So they're doing well. There's a couple of better ones over here. Right right there, I think. Some more down here. So I haven't had rodent damage this year, which is amazing. And this is the other side of the beans. So I better come out here and pick today. Maybe if I get my other chores done, I will. We've got the chicken coop set up now, and we've got the chickens in the pole barn. So I've got to get some gates secured over there, so when we let them out on pasture, that they'll be a little bit more secure in there. I think they're too little to hop the fence right now, and they're not flying. They're jumping, but they're not flying. Oh, this little feller needs to go in the house too. He'd be good eating. So yeah, here, there's the squash row. I mean, it has really, really blown up. These are butternut squash too, over here. And we got some down here that are coming on. It just, knock on wood, but right now, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty good year. Things could change in a hurry. There's some more right down here. But so far, so good. I'm excited. We're back in the bees. They're pollinating what's already a lot of Blue Hubbard. Ooh, here's another one. Right here. The camera isn't doing that justice, but that's a foot long. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy. Pretty happy. Apparently the cats are too. Are you cats out? Kitty, kitty, kitty. Yeah. Oh, I was going to show you the, well, we can go this way. I had told you that the mint was doing well. That's an understatement. Remember, I drilled those holes in there in the bottom to finally get some drainage on them, and they have really went bonkers. Unfortunately, I have that box that I never did plant that I'm going to need to weed, get it out of there. I've got a question for you guys. Once these onions are gone, I was thinking about putting some T-poles at the corners of these boxes down here. Let's see where we're at. I'm right in the way, ain't I? These boxes over here, and some string, and I was going to plant sweet corn. Do you think it's too late for sweet corn? And even if it isn't too late, what would I need to do to grow it in the heat? Or is that even a good plan? I don't know. That's what I was kicking around. I hate to have the onions are going to be out of here, and I hate to not have something in there, but it's also the heat of the summer right now. So we'll have to say, maybe sweet potatoes. Maybe we can put sweet potatoes in there. Of course, it's kind of late in the game for that, too. All right, well, with that, I'm going to let you go. You can hear the chickens over there. Apparently, it's egg laying time. That's some of the chickens. But, yeah, that's today's walkthrough. Let's see if I can get this to work. Yeah, that's today's walkthrough here at the little mini farm, I guess. Having a good year. I don't know, I hope everybody else is too, but we've just had such a nice wet summer or spring, and now we're going to start getting into the heat, so I expect things to pick up. I expect my watering to pick up. I have not had to water once yet this year. That's just crazy. But yeah, enjoying it. Things are great, and give it a go.